Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining this episode of the Oasis Show. This morning, I have two guests, and Jana, who's coming to us from Hamilton, and Isabel, who's coming to us from Bathurst, and they're both involved in the Women in Business New Brunswick organization. So, Jana, I'm going to throw it over to you. Maybe tell a little bit about who you are and what you do at Women in Business New Brunswick.
Sure. Thanks, Clarissa. Thanks, first of all, for having us. We're really excited to be here. So, as you said, my name is Jana Allen Boudreau. I'm located in Campbellton, New Brunswick, and I'm the Development Officer for Startups with Women in Business New Brunswick. So, our mandate is provincial, and we help any aspiring or current women entrepreneur in the province reach their full potential.
Awesome. And Isabel, what about you? You're on a new project within the organization. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so I'm Isabel Arsenault. I'm a project coordinator with Women in Business New Brunswick, and the project is called Atlantic Canadian Women in Growth Partnership, and it's a partnership between the 4 Atlantic Women Business Organizations, so Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Women in Business New Brunswick, and also Newfoundland and Labrador Organization of Women Entrepreneurs.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about this project that is specific to Women in Business New Brunswick, but I know it's a partnership, but tell us a little bit about what you're working on, Isabel.
Perfect. So it's a 3-year project, and it's funded through ACOA, and it's to address gaps and build capacity in the entrepreneurship ecosystem for women. So we have 2 main goals in the project, which is increase each of our organization capacity to support women in both startup and growth phase, and also increase participation of underrepresented women, such as newcomers, women with disabilities, Indigenous women, rural women, as well as women in non-traditional trades and in STEM-related fields.
Okay. So quite a big role there with trying to get that message out. And Jana, Women in Business New Brunswick, I mean, it's kind of changed over the last few years. Tell us a little bit about those changes that have happened and how the organization works today.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, you're correct that we've been in existence since 2002, Women in Business New Brunswick. It used to be Women in Business Initiative. And in 2018, we underwent a restructuring. So in the past, there used to be development officers in each region of the province.
Right.
And a part of that restructuring was to go with sort of an expertise instead of individually in each region of the province. So I'm startup. I have our colleague Audrey Poitras, who's in Grand Falls, and she works with growth and expansion. Mm-hmm. And then we have Claire Efestian, who's in Dieppe, and she works with exporting and international trade. And we're really excited also to have a new development officer who came on board with us in February, Natasha Martin-Mitchell, and she works with female Indigenous women entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Female women, sort of thing.
So so you kind of taken it from location to, portfolios. Right?
Portfolios, business life cycle, things like that. And we also have an advisory board of 7 women entrepreneurs throughout the province that sort of guides our strat plan, our strategic planning, and our work planning and things like that. So those were the major changes that happened in 2018.
Okay. And Isabel, I know that you've been involved, in, kind of in the entrepreneurship field, for quite a few years. And in your role that you play right now, and you mentioned a lot of the different audiences that you're trying to capture. What's the trend now with I know with us at Oasis, we see a lot of, 60% of the businesses that we help are female owned. Is that the trend? Is that what you're seeing now, or within the groups that you represent?
Yeah, I would say it's probably the same trend as you guys. Mm-hmm. It's not mostly women owned, but I would say in the latest year, you see that more and more that women do own their own business are in majority in it also.
Right. And Jana, why do you think that is? Like, what's the, for women, what do you see the biggest kind of value add or draw to women owning their own business? What are you seeing with the startups that you're working with?
Yeah, for sure. I think more and more women are realizing that they can sort of be the creators and ownership of their own destiny. So, they have a lot to offer. They have great skill sets. They're oftentimes highly educated, and they can take those skills and those talents and create a business and learn and develop and grow and evolve. And you see a lot of community based as well with women. They want to help their community and their families, and that seems to be the trend that's moving forward more and more.
Right, right. And so for somebody who's watching this and they're like, well, I'm a woman and I'm already in business, or I want to get into business, how do they go about getting involved in your organization? Is it just as easy as picking up the phone and saying, what do you offer? So maybe let everybody know what you offer. Isabel, I'll start with you. What do you offer when people come to you?
Perfect. Well, presently we have 2 official initiatives going on, which is Moving Women Online, Femmes Entrepreneurs Branchées, which consists of an opportunity for women entrepreneurs in Atlantic Canada to move their current business operation to an online e-commerce platform. Okay. So we presently have a cohort of 13 women that are about in the upcoming weeks to launch their new website.
Okay.
And we also have the Atlantic Women Business Series, which is a webinar series which feature interviews with entrepreneur women leaders from Atlantic Canada. We just had our first one, which was with the women in trades. Our second one was with the Indigenous women, and we will have our third one on November 4th with women leading the way in STEM and tech.
Okay, really important.
And we do have other initiatives, but that are not shares already.
Okay. So, and Jana, in regard to startups for you, what's the process when somebody's thinking about starting a business? At what point do they reach out to women in business to, for help? And what help can you offer them?
Yeah, for sure. It's really broad. They can reach out at any stage, really, if they have an idea and they think, oh, I can make this product, or I can offer this service, and I wonder if I can make a business out of it. That's an idea stage. So by all means, reach out. I'd love to have the opportunity to guide you and help you find the tools that you need to sort of move forward. Also, if you've already started and you're kind of struggling, you need some help maybe with your marketing strategy or your branding or accounting, by all means, reach out. We're here. We offer group training that many people benefit from, that can really help out and can foster sort of group work and group sharing. So any stages really, even if you've been in business 2 years, 3 years, but you're still, you think, oh, I'd like to launch a new product, or I'd like to penetrate a new market, or, I want to position my product in a different market, reach out. That's what we're here for. Absolutely.
Okay. And I think it's so important to, because sometimes along the way, people either, if they're new or they've been in business 20 years, something like this happens in the middle of a pandemic. And our first thought is, well, we have to close, right? Yeah. And especially if they've been in business for a long time and they've been doing it one way, for them to, jump online or to start offering a delivery service or something like that. Sometimes it just takes a conversation with somebody outside their circle to be able to spark an idea. So I think it's really important that organizations like yours are there, especially for the, for women entrepreneurs, because, so that they find this community amongst themselves. Now let's chat a little bit about the pandemic. You folks had to jump on and do a lot of virtual stuff as we did. What did you see was the biggest need for your clients coming to you? What were they knocking on your door saying, I need help with X? And so what was that? Isabel, was there something that jumps out to you?
It was probably our initiative, Moving Women Online, which was bringing their physical business to an online platform, because most of them didn't have an online presence. So we did create that initiative to help in that gap.
Right. Okay. And for those startups then that maybe could move their business online, Jana, what alternatives did they have, through your organization?
Yeah, we sort of the same as every other organization out there. You know, the pandemic hit and we had our work plan and things that we had wanted to do down the line, but we had to pivot and say, okay, what are the needs of our clients at this time? So we created something called our coffee break, Pause Cafe in French. So we have that. When the pandemic first hit, we started doing that bi-weekly, but now we're doing it every month. So that is a networking opportunity for a woman, an aspiring woman entrepreneur or a current woman entrepreneur or someone just even thinking about it and wants to gather information. So we meet once a month. They come online. It's their space. They discuss. Partnerships have come from that. Different businesses have partnered to offer packages and exchanges. So that's really a community, as you said earlier. You know, they come together and it's someone to balance. You know, I'm really struggling with A and B, and someone will say, yeah, actually I had that same thing. So-and-so helped me out. So it's just making those connections and having those opportunities with shared experiences. So that came on board. And then we're really excited because, as I had mentioned earlier, how Natasha came on board for Indigenous women entrepreneurs. So we created one especially for Indigenous women entrepreneurs, which is called Nawiomi. So that has come out of that, as well as Isabel had mentioned the online platform for moving women online. There's a specific platform that's been developed, currently being created for Indigenous women entrepreneurs to showcase their products, their services, and that we hope to launch very soon. So please stay tuned. We're really excited about that for them because, you know, in the Indigenous communities, they're used to having their powwows, you know, every year, and that was all shut down as well. Everything's online, and you know, some federal associations were able to put things online, but they really are missing and lacking that opportunity to sell and share their products. So this was a great opportunity to be able to help them to showcase what they can offer and get their word out there and their business out there and their products, so that hopefully people can reach out and buy from them.
Yeah. And it's so important because, you know, I mean, most of the, you know, when the businesses come to us looking for support, you know, most of the owners are the talent behind the business, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you know, those talent behind the business in their program or in their academics, entrepreneurship training wasn't a part of that.
Right.
You know, and that power of networking sometimes too kind of helps find those connections and really helps them like learn from others. So that platform is extremely important. Now you're doing something else. You know, you're in the middle of a competition, a startup competition. So I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that. Maybe explain kind of what's happening with that, and you know what we can see coming out of that competition in the coming weeks.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, we're very excited about that. It's our first ever online virtual competition. So it's very exciting. Anybody who may have a business idea that they'd sort of like to test and develop and see if it would function for them. And also anybody who has a current business but has a new product or would like to bring a product to a new market is also welcome to apply. Okay. The deadline for applications are this Friday, October 9th. So we're really excited. We're getting a lot of applications and interest, which we're thrilled about. Yeah. And they have the opportunity to participate in training. So there's 7 weeks of training sessions, once per week, and they are going to be focusing on pricing your product or your service. Also making a perfect pitch, because you need to practice and perfect that, as well as building your buyer persona. There's 3 sessions on that, and who your buyer persona is, and your brand and development and things like that. So it really gives a nice opportunity for people who may have been considering entrepreneurship or weren't really sure, the opportunity to take part in this for free of charge. And at the end, they have an opportunity for first place will win $2,000. Second place, $1,000, and then for any student applications that we receive, there will be a $500 prize for the winning group of students.
Okay. And it's so important, you know, I mean, it's such a great way, you know, boot camps or startup competitions are such a great way to flush out your idea,
yes,
you know, with very little commitment, money commitment or financial commitment, right? Yeah. So you can go through the steps, you can have, you know, some mentors, you know, and some people giving you critiques along the way, and you're still investing your time, but you don't have to invest, you know, a large amount financially, you know, to see if it's a viable idea.
Yeah, and we're hoping that, with the information gained and, further business plan development and research and things that, at that end, if they're not ready to launch at that time, that they've certainly gained a great deal of experience and knowledge to be able to move on to the next steps.
Yeah. Yeah. So my final question, Isabel, I'm going to come to you first. So I asked you, what is, or to think about what's your tip, the tip if somebody walked up to you on the street right now, knowing that you're involved in Women in Business New Brunswick, knowing that your background has been in helping entrepreneurs for the last, several years, and they said, give me your top tip to help me as I'm starting my business. What would you tell them?
I would probably say write a business plan and show it to your friends, parents, and everything. Have their feedback, and then go meet someone that can help you make that dream come true.
Awesome. That's a good tip. What about you, Janet?
I would say, first off, believe in yourself and don't be afraid to ask questions. We are really, really fortunate in the province of New Brunswick to have an amazing entrepreneurial ecosystem available. And there's so many organizations and partners out there that can help you throughout your journey. And I know that sometimes that can be super overwhelming, but we are here to help guide you through that. And don't be afraid to make that first step. Just reach out and start those connections and develop that plan and believe in yourself and go for it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining me today. And I will add your contact information to this episode. And if anyone's out there, if you're a woman in business starting, if you're aspiring, budding, or already established and you want to reach out to Women in Business New Brunswick. And thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us.